house out there in Brightmo, so that's the only reason I even know about it. So yeah, I
Mhm.
started recording now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to the same place to get those the list though.
Well, that's good then, bro. That's
Yeah.
good. What's up, Don?
What's going on, family? You had a good day?
I had a good day. How about you, my brother?
Man, it was a busy one, but hey, busy is good. You feel me?
Busy is good, man. I'm gonna try to make my way down to Atlanta, man, in the next like 2 weeks or so, man. Probably 3 weeks or so, actually, man. I'm
Hey,
at
let
I'm
me
with my sister, man, and I'll go down there and bump into y'all.
let me and Janae gonna show you a good time, bro, for sure.
Hey, man, I'd appreciate it for sure, man. That'd be good. Yeah. What's up, Miss Chin?
Hello. I hope everyone is having a good evening.
Chin, you don't gotta be all proper like that. These are folks. Ah, that's what's up. That's what's up. We're gonna give everybody like a minute or so to come in. Today's class will be kind of quick, probably like 30 to 40 minutes max, probably like 35 minutes. Today's class is gonna be on hiring, as I'm sure y'all all already know. Heather's a fool. And since it's gonna be on hiring, I know it's gonna be a little light. It's gonna be kind of the nitty gritty on things. But want to do this no matter what, so we can record it, we can put it on YouTube, and everybody can watch it back when they get to that point in their company when they are scaling. All right. So once you guys begin scaling, once you guys begin starting to hire, starting to pull lists, like Jonathan's doing actually, which I'm glad to hear. This class, you guys will be able to rewatch and kind of see what tactics you can use to hire, how you can hire, things like that. So that's what this is about. We're gonna give people about 1 more minute at the most, let them trickle in, and we're gonna get started. Let me start sharing my screen with y'all, and we can get this ball rolling. Again, I appreciate everybody for coming out. Appreciate everybody for joining in, spending y'all Thursday evening with me. Y'all let me know when y'all can see my screen. If y'all can see my screen, can y'all type screen for me real quick? Screen, 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 screen. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. All right, perfect. All right, we're gonna get this thing rolling, man. We ain't gonna take up too much of y'all time. So today's class, reunited. We are going into week 8, how to hire. And the theme for this class I thought of today because I was listening to a little bit of music and I thought of EDD, which is the Employment Development Department. It's for the state of California. But I know that a lot of people in the urban areas know about EDD for the wrong reasons. So I want to use EDD to give some uplifting to it and show you guys how you can hire. And that's why I want to choose that as a theme for today's course and this week's course. So how to hire, week 8. This is Reunited. I am Dylan Wade. If y'all aren't already, follow me on Instagram, y'all. Please, my boy Ant Johnson tapping in. That's what I'm talking about. Ant Johnson's tapping in. If y'all haven't already, follow my boy Ant Johnson so y'all can have y'all motivation daily, as well as y'all can have him stay on top of y'all goals. Shout out to Ant. So yeah, this is week 8. If y'all haven't already, follow me on Instagram at purchase.house. Let's get this thing rocking, y'all. All right, so as always, we're going to start off with an agenda for y'all. First thing we're going to do a recap of what weeks 1 through 7 were about. Then we're going to jump into where to hire from. So where we've hired from, where we've pulled from, places that we've heard great things about. I'll let you guys know all about that. And then after that, in that where to hire, we've got a special guest coming in. Her name is Heather. She has been with Rego for about 2 years now. And I'll go more into that before I introduce her. But we got special guests in today's class again, so I'm excited. Then we'll jump into how to hire, what type of methods to use when you're hiring, what questions to ask. I'll give you guys all of that as well. And then we'll jump into KPI'S, what type of key performance indicators you need to have for your employees, whether it be VAs or sales reps. And then last, we'll go into pay structures, how to pay, what you should be paying, what the industry standards are on pay for VAs as well as sales reps when you guys begin to hire sales reps. And then last, we'll have any questions that y'all have. And y'all know if y'all have any questions, please drop them in the chat and I'll make sure I circle back to them. I promise. All right. So again, y'all, let's get this thing rolling, right? just to recap for y'all, what we're in right now is week 8. After we got to about week 5, we started going into scaling. So weeks 1 were just how to get started in real estate with little to no money, how to kind of give you guys the outline of what real estate wholesaling is. Week 2 was how to talk to sellers. So now you know what this thing called real estate wholesaling is. Week 2, we went on, we dove deep into how to build rapport and how to negotiate with sellers. Week 3 was deal or no deal / confidence. So we went over how to really tell if you got a deal now that you've learned how to talk to sellers, right? Then week 4, what we did was we went on to how to find buyers. So we went on how to find buyers locally, virtually, in any market using tons of tactics. Week 5 was creative financing. So how to turn maybe those leads and those deals that kind of seemed like they weren't going to work out into a closed deal by using like subject to owner financing, whatever it may be, right? Then after that, that's when, like I said, we went into the scaling portion. So now you guys, weeks 1 through 5, kind of have a basic gist, a basic analysis on how to wholesale real estate in steps A to Z. So now we wanted to go into week 6 through 10 are going to be more so on scaling. So that's where we are now. So week 6, we went over skip tracing, and I gave y'all that beast of a skip tracer, Mr. Josh Chan, with a 3-cent skip. And then week 7, I went over marketing methods. So now that you guys have pulled a list of 10, 20, 30,000 people, whatever it may be, how to market to them, which types of outbound marketing methods you can use. And then now here we are in week 8, and we are going over how to hire. So I have a question for y'all. Before I even get started, can I get a raise of hands? Who in here has ever hired before, whether it be for a company, recruiting, whatever it may be? Can I get a raise of hands? Who's ever hired before? I love it. Okay, there we go. We got a few hands raised. We got a good amount of hands raised. That's good. Okay, perfect. I love that. So you guys all know then how hard it can be to find good talent, especially in today's market. Quality candidates are very far and few in between. So I'm going to tell you guys how I've used some tactics, how we've used some tactics to hire and where we've hired from. So let's get started. So this is going to be where you guys can find these VAs. Let's start with virtual assistants first and foremost, right? So these are a couple places that we've either used before, we've heard great things about, or that have great reputation in the real estate community. Call Geeks is one. Call Geeks is very well renowned in the real estate wholesale industry. Axel Robles, who's not in the call today, is using them, has been using them for a couple weeks. He's been getting great results, and they have some really good VAs. I listen to their calls. Rocket Station's another one. They're similar to Call Geeks. They use Filipino VAs just like Call Geeks does. And then Call Magicians is another one. They use Egyptian VAs, and they pay a little bit. They cost a little bit more. They cost like $10 an hour. But I met the gentleman at a real estate networking event who runs the company. Really good guy. His name's Stratton. He's an African-American guy. So love to, give business back to Black people if we can. So that is Call Magicians. They have really good VAs as well. But like I said, they're a little bit more expensive than Call Geeks and Rocket Station. Now, another place that you guys might not have ever thought of or used was Facebook groups. If you go into those Facebook groups, you can kind of see what other wholesalers or what other investors are using or who they're using or how they've hired. Or maybe they might have some VAs they want to dump off to you. So you can use Facebook groups, guys. Don't sleep on those. Another one's Upwork. Kenny and I tried Upwork. We didn't get the best success on there only because we didn't like that you had to keep the employees on the Upwork platform. We found really good employees on there. However, Upwork wants you to hire them and keep them on there for a 3-month period before you can take them off the platform. And of course, they take their fees out of that. And it's a little bit different of a payment method. So that's the con to Upwork, but they do have great VAs in there as well. They had great resumes. Another one's Fiverr. These are kind of the least of the qualified individuals, and you're going to have to run through a ton to find that really good one, right? But these are going to be the cheaper ones. You're going to find those $3, $4 type of hour VAs on Fiverr, right? And then next, this is my cheat code, right? And this is how we got our best VAs in the game from other wholesale companies, y'all, or from other real estate companies. You might not have ever even thought about it, but it's something that's so simple and it's in our face. What I would do is I will Google and put my information into all of the real estate wholesaling websites that I can find. And what's going to happen is my phones are going to begin to blow up with calls. And it's going to be VAs calling me saying, hey, you said you were interested in selling your property. And once I go through the call flow with them and I give them some objections, and yes, I'm wasting their time, but what I'm doing is I'm vetting them and interviewing them on the phone to see if they'd be a good fit for the company, right? So that's how I am able to source. That's how we're able to source our best candidates is from other real estate companies. Heather, who's going to talk to you guys next on referrals, came from another real estate company. She had relentless follow-up and wanted to sell me a product, but I would not buy it. But it was because of the amount of relentless follow-up that she had that I knew that she'd be great in real estate wholesaling. And she still to this day is with our company after we negotiated and was able to persuade her to leave the company she was with. And she is the #1 VA that's been in our company since we have started. And that is where you guys are probably going to find your best talent is from other real estate companies, from other wholesale companies. You have to give them competitive pay. You have to have a good company culture. You have to just provide them things that these other companies are not because they take them for granted. But we treat each VA as family, and you guys need to do the same, right? So wholesale companies, other real estate companies are great places, y'all. This is the best place to find that first really good VA. And then after that is referrals. So after you find that really good VA, what we did was we said, hey, Heather, you're great. Can you go find us 3 or 4 other people just like you? And she said, yes, no problem. So what I'm going to do next is, y'all, I'm gonna introduce Miss Heather. She's going to talk to you guys. She's on our team today. She's great. She's fabulous. She's in the Philippines. She's going to talk to you guys about how she was able to go out and hire within her network and what types of questions she asked and kind of qualifications within her network. So, Miss Heather, can you please come to the table and introduce yourself, please, and tell everybody how great of a person you are when it comes to hiring and vetting?
Hello, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing evening. Hello, Dylan. Thank you for having me. So my name is Heather. I've been with Rigo for almost 2 years now. I went out. I went out of my way to do the hiring because there's one time that it's difficult, as mentioned by Dylan earlier, to find a good talent. So what I did is though Dylan has mentioned a handful of good platforms where to find good talent. I have my own platforms to where to get these great VAs. The first one to consider is, of course, Facebook groups. Don't hesitate to join Facebook groups. There are plenty of them there, especially the ones with experience. Next would be LinkedIn. There are what you call this talents there or VAs that are looking for jobs. They do have like a logo in their profile photo that says open to work. Their portfolio is also updated. The third one will be online jobs, PH. This is where Dylan was able to find one of the best talents in the team right now. Also, number 4 will be referrals. We in our team right now, there are 2 of them who are referrals of that VA who came from online jobs, and they're really great. The team is really great, and up to right now, we're happily working with each other. No issues at all. And also other platforms available that Dylan was not able to mention was Hubstaff, Outsourcely, and FreeUp. So when it
Can
comes
you,
to
can you
hiring,
I'm sorry, can you drop those 3 when you get done in the chat, the hub staff and those other 3? I'm sorry to interrupt.
yes, yeah, will do. Okay, so when it comes to searching for a great talent or a good VA or cold caller, however you want it, don't hesitate to put your criteria straight to the point on your job post. For example, you only want to hire female VAs. You only want to hire male VAs. Put that out there so it will be easy for you to scale your hiring. Also, let's say, for example, you only want Egyptians, Latinas, or Filipinas. That's fine. Go ahead and put that on your job post. It will be easy for you to scale in the future. Also, when it comes to experience, I would really recommend, highly suggest someone with at least 6 months experience in cold calling. If after all the applications that you have received, you can't seem to find a good match with someone with a year of experience in cold calling, but there seems to be something wrong with the application, that's not a problem. You can always choose someone with a call center experience. That's totally fine. But if they have both, then you hit the jackpot. So
Mhm.
you can also ask them to send you a recording of an introduction of themselves. You can use vocaroo.com, which I will drop in the chat right after this. And then when it comes to the, you can also put your rate, your company name, because sometimes applicants nowadays, they're kind of smart when it comes to sending their applications. They're kind of scared too. So it's better to put there your company name, the time of the shift, EST, CST, MST, PST, so that they will be aware of the shift that they're jumping into. Also, you can put there, I need someone who is familiar with these tools. For example, someone familiar with Zoho, Mojo Cells, Podio, Ring Central, Dialpad, CallRail, something like that, so that when you get to talk to them, you will see if they really know or they are familiar or have experience with these tools. Though obviously it's easy to teach, but then it's really different if these people are, they know what they're doing with the tools rather than having them, you just throw them in the shark and they don't know what they're doing. Also, when it comes to the instructions, I'm really sensitive to instructions. In my job post, I placed there, no DMs, please. And for any questions, shoot me an email. But I still received a ton of direct messages. This is a simple no for me. You're out. Simple instructions, you can tell that if the person knows how to understand simple instructions. How can you work with that kind of person if simple instructions are, just thrown out of the window? That's a no. So also, I do not interview or accept applicants who are just going to forward me an application or a resume from a previous application they have wherein it still shows the email address of the previous company. That's insulting. So no, they're out. I cannot see myself working with these people. And out of that was like a 3-day hire for me, 4 days. So out of over 45 applications, I was able to schedule 15 good applicants for an initial interview. All of them confirmed, but this doesn't stop your hiring process. You have to check who will ghost you, who will confirm and ghost you. This is so disrespectful. So out of that 15, 11 showed up, the rest went ghost. So 8 of them made it to the final interview, but at the end of the day, it is still up to Dylan and Kenny who will make it to the top 3 list. Anyway, if you have any questions, kindly reach out to Dylan and we will be happy to help you in your hiring process.
Thank you so much, Chan. We truly appreciate you. We appreciate your time. Thanks for all that knowledge. Thanks for all that game. I really like when you said you put simple instructions in there, and if they don't follow them, they're automatically out. I hope y'all are taking note of that because that is a great filter when you're interviewing and hiring. Thank you, Heather, I'm sorry. Thank you so much. And she just dropped in there. Thanks for dropping those in there as well. Hub staff, free up, outsourcely. Thank you again, Ken. Heather, I'm sorry. I appreciate it. Really appreciate your time. All right, y'all. Was that good information, y'all? That was good information? Yeah? Can I get some hands raised if that was good? I'm raising my own hand. That was really good. She taught me a couple things there. All right. Thank you, Heather. All right. I'm glad that was good, y'all. All right. Let's move on. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Now, when it comes to hiring sales reps, what do we use? ZipRecruiter, which Jesus and I are very familiar with. Indeed, which he's very familiar with. Networking events, Facebook groups, referrals, and realtors. Let's start with ZipRecruiter. What you guys can do, it costs, right? As well as does Indeed. But what you guys can do is you can sign up for a free trial and ask for an extension. So that's what we did with ZipRecruiter. We signed up for a 7-day free trial And in those 7 days, we were able to get all the applicants that we needed to be able to start hiring and interviewing. So sign up for the free trial, put a card on file, but cancel it immediately when it's up. But you're going to get great candidates in those first 3 to 4 days anyways. So use the free trial to y'all advantage. Do the same with Indeed, y'all. And then another place where we've hired sales reps from as well as networking events. So we'll go to other real estate networking events and talk to people that are trying to get into wholesaling, trying to start their own wholesale company, whatever it may be. And that lets us know they got some drive, they got the will, they got some knowledge already, and that we can hire them and put them in as maybe a commission-only role or whatever it may be, but they already have some real estate knowledge. So networking events, don't sleep on those, y'all. And then, of course, Facebook groups. We've seen in a ton of Facebook groups, maybe like the wholesaling houses full-time or newbies selling wholesaling houses. People will say, hey, I'm willing to work and grind in another person's company just so I can learn the game. So go into those Facebook groups, see who said and posted in there that they're willing to do some sweat equity to learn the wholesaling game. So go into Facebook groups, use those, as well as referrals. Just in the VA game, whenever you find somebody, ask, hey, do you know anyone else that may be looking for this type of job or this type of pay? It's perfect and it works. Referrals, the other one. Realtors. Realtors are already in the game. They already know how to comp a property. They already know how to disposition a property. They maybe already even have buyers. So realtors are another great place for you to find sales reps. Now, the only problem with realtors is a lot of them don't make calls. So they might make 20, 30 dials. So you're going to have to look for a realtor that's willing to grind and pound the phones. That's what this role is about. It's about pounding the phones, right? So that is where you guys screenshot this if you guys need. This is where you guys will be needing to hire your sales reps from. Of course, there's other outlets, but these are going to be your main ones more than likely, y'all. So screenshot that. I believe that's it for hiring sales reps. So now you guys know where. Let's talk about how to hire and what we utilize to hire our sales reps, right? So how to hire. Chin kind of went over it briefly. You got to give them rounds. It cannot be a one and done interview, y'all. You have to do 2-3 rounds to really see if this person's a fit. The first one may be just be an orientation and they may be ready and they're buttoned up. And then on the second one, they might get more relaxed. So you want to see those types of things and pay attention to their mannerisms as the rounds go on and they get more comfortable. So that's why you want to have rounds. In there, you also want to ask about prior experience. What have they done in a previous role that may be similar? A previous sales role. Have they come from a background of making 120, 130 dials? Do they come from a background of making 200 dials? Whatever it is, you want to look for those things. If they come from a background where they've only made 10, 20 dials a day, it's going to be hard for them to transition into a role where they got to do 120 dials a day. It's not impossible, but it's going to be hard, y'all. So you want to ask about prior experience, but it's not a focus because what you're looking for is truly grind. Are you looking for somebody that can grind and has that grit? That's something that you guys cannot pass up. You can always teach someone how to sell a new product. So they might have sold logistics before, or they might have sold whatever it is before, recruiting, but they don't know the real estate industry. That's not a problem. If you see that they got that grind in them and that go-getter mentality or a hustler, that's what you're looking for because you can always teach them the new industry to sell in. So look for that grind. That's most importantly what we look for when we're doing sales, when we're looking for sales reps. And then y'all, I'll drop this in the chat. It's 62 sales interview questions. We have used this since the beginning of time, Kenny and I, to be able to hire. Whenever we run out of questions to ask, we go on this 62 sales interview questions. It gives you the best interview questions you can ask for inside sales, outside sales, door to door, whatever it may be. It gives you questions on that. So y'all, I'll drop this in the Telegram after, or you guys can also just Google it, Google HubSpot 62 sales interview questions. And it is a great method and great place to use and get questions from. And we have been using this, like I said, since the beginning of time. And then next, y'all, bring in outside people or your team to do that vetting. We nowadays, when we are hiring, whenever Kenny and I are hiring, we always ask for our team's opinion before we actually finally bring someone in. We'll have a team meeting and let them meet the person and ask for their opinion. Hey, how do you guys feel about this person? Did you guys get a good vibe from them? Do you think they'll fit the company culture? They might even ask some questions or ask us some questions after that we didn't think to ask. So always bring in an outside opinion, y'all, after you've kind of interviewed them and you're about to bring them on. And then one thing, I love how Chin said, she does a simple instruction to make sure they are able to follow. One thing that I always look for is tardiness. If someone is late to the interview, I don't care if it's by 2 minutes, they are almost automatically disqualified every time. I don't care what the reason was. If you're tardy to the interview, that lets me know you're going to be tardy for work. So I always look for tardiness. As well as in this industry, we need strong internet connection. So if during the interview, they keep dropping out and dropping in and dropping out and dropping in, they say, oh, my internet's messed up. Well, you just gave me enough firepower to not want to hire you. Because that's going to be the same problem and same thing you're going to say why you're not on the phones. Why aren't you on the phones? Oh, my internet's down. So look for strong internet connection. If you see any problems, look, Kenny's raising his hand. He knows. Look for strong internet connection, y'all. Strong internet connection and tardiness are the two things that you can immediately get off of the call, and it happens on the first call usually, y'all. So that is how to hire, right? And that goes for our VAs and that goes for our sales reps. We have the same interview process for our VAs as we do for our sales reps. It doesn't matter who you are, what pay grade, you're going through the same process. So I hope that was helpful, y'all. Was that helpful at all? Can I get a yes if that was helpful? Please.
Helpful.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, yes. Cool. All right. So we're going to dive into KPIs then next, y'all. And then we'll be almost done here. So KPIs, why do we even have KPIs in a company? They are to measure success and performance, and they allow for us to evaluate our reps, our sales reps, our VAs, whatever it is. So when we're giving feedback, we can give feedback with numbers, right? With, hey, this is why you aren't hitting these performance indicators, or this is why you aren't getting the results you're looking for, right? And then we can put a strategy in place that allows for them to succeed. So that's why we have KPIs. So these are the KPIs. I want y'all to screenshot this, y'all. These are the KPIs. Take a picture, screenshot it. These are the KPIs that your VAs should be doing at a minimum. $650 to $800 a day per VA. Now, some VAs may be doing $1,200. It depends on how many lines on the dialer they have. 500 to 1,000 text messages per day is what they need to be doing. Even if they're texting through the same list 2-3 times because you guys already hit it, they need to be doing 500 to 1,000 text messages a day. They need to be submitting about 2 leads a day. Now, some days they might have none. Some days they might have 4. It's going to average out. But they need to be averaging about 2 leads a day. And then you guys need to put into place talk time and commenting and what their contacts need to be. Now, for us, we just want them to have 1 hour to 2 hours of talk time. It depends on how many contacts they get, right? Some days it might be a whole bunch of no's and hang-ups. Some days it might have really good, lengthy conversations. Now, contacts, we look for a 3% to 6% contact ratio. So if they're calling 800 people, they need to be contacting what? 800 times 0.03. They need to be talking to 25 to 30 people a day, right? 25 to 30 people a day that are having good quality conversations with. Out of that, they need to be able to bring in 1 closed deal a month from their efforts. And it's going to take them 90 days from when they get started. Usually 90 days for them to get started, for them to build that pipeline up. Once that pipeline is built up, they should be having 1 deal a month like clockwork from their efforts. 1 deal a month. And they're also going to be on FSBO on Zillow. They're also going to be making offers on MLS, on market deal, on market properties. So with all of these methods, your VA should be bringing you in 1 closed deal a month once they get rolling and once you're providing them with enough data, y'all. So that's the KPIs for your VAs. Take a picture of that. Next is going to be the KPIs for your sales reps. And I harp on these. These are minimum. These are the minimum that you guys need, your sales reps. And if you're the sales rep, this is what you need to be doing minimum a day if you want to be able to succeed. And this is if you're doing this 8 hours a day, of course. $120 a day, minimum. 2 hours of talk time a day, minimum. 25 to 30 quality conversations a day. Out of every 10 dials, you're going to get about 3 answers. So if you're having 120 to 150 dials, you should easily have 25 to 30 quality conversations in that day. And from that, you're going to make 10 to 15 offers. Your sales rep should be making 10 to 15 offers a day. Right? And what that in turn leads to is 10 contracts a month. You guys should be getting 10 to 12 contracts a month is what one sales rep should be able to generate all day, like clockwork, when they're working 8 hours a day. And from that, in turn, that turns into 3 to 5 closed deals. Now, it depends on the market you're in. Your ratios for closing may be higher. Your ratio for closing may be a little bit lower. If you're in Detroit, you're going to get a lot of properties under contract, but there's going to be title issues. There's going to be seller remorse. The property just might not sell because it's not in a great area. That's just what happens, right? But in turn, what you guys should see is $40,000 to $80,000 in revenue per month from one sales representative. One sales rep should be bringing you guys in between $40,000 to $80,000 a month, and these are at the minimum, right? There are a lot of the big wholesale companies out there. They are requiring their sales reps to be bringing in $100,000 to $110,000 a month per sales rep. So this $40,000 to $80,000 is at a minimum, and we see it. We're in all the communities where all the big multi-million wholesaling companies are in. And I ask, what are your KPIs? And they say $100,000 a month is their minimum that they look for from their sales rep. So these are the KPIs for your sales reps. I gave y'all the KPIs for your VAs. Take a screenshot of this. Take a picture of this. If you're the sales rep, this is what you should be doing. All right, y'all. Now, before we go on, was that helpful, y'all? Did y'all already have KPIs? Did y'all have KPIs for your VAs? Did y'all know what KPIs for your sales rep should be? Was that helpful? Can I get a yes on that? Can I get an amen, maybe even? Dom raised his hand, my man. Cool. All right, bet. I know a lot of y'all might not be in the scaling portion right now where y'all are hiring. But like I said, this is what you guys should be aiming at, and y'all can replay this. All right, we're finishing up here. This is the last slide. Perfect. Right now, I'm the VA and the sales rep. All right, y'all. Payday. I hope y'all know where this is from. The candy bar. Let's get it popping. Pay structure. What that looks like for your VA and for y'all sales reps. Screenshot this. This is averages, right? It could be lower. It could be higher. The average VA pay is going to be between $6 to $8 an hour. You might be able to find some people for $3 to $4. Also, remember that quality is probably going to be a problem. You might be able to find some VAs for $10 to $12 an hour, but know that they may be overqualified. They might not be what you need for right now. $6 to $8 is a great sweet spot for hourly for a VA, and this is for 40 hours a week. Their weekly pay will end up being $240 to $320. So if you got about $1,000 to spare a month, use it to delegate it out to the VA so that you can scale and begin to start seeing the results you want. Right now, what we do is we give bonuses for each contract that VA brings in. Now, the VA didn't technically bring it in because the sales rep closed the contract, but the VA brought the lead in. So if the VA brought the lead in and we get it under contract, we always give the VA a bonus. It keeps them happy. Most companies do not do this. This is what keeps our VAs in-house and not wanting to leave. And this is what keeps them happy, right? So we bonus them maybe $25, maybe $50 each contract we get. And it just adds up. It's a numbers game for us anyways. We might make $10,000, $15,000 on that contract. So what is $25 to $50 to that VA? It makes them excited. To us, it's just a drop in the bucket. So bonus for contracts, and as well as bonuses for closings. If their lead that they put in closes, we pay out, and we pay out proudly. And we like to say that we pay the most in the industry for our VAs for closings. And that is why they stay motivated, and they stay on us, and they stay on our sales reps to make, and our dispositions team to make sure that this thing closes, because they want that commission more than anybody. So that's why y'all want to make sure y'all bonus them out for closings as well. And then we also give daily motivational bonuses, y'all. Y'all might be like, geez, what's up with all the bonuses? You got to keep your sales reps motivated. This game is grueling. Making 1,000 calls a day, it's grueling work. So give them some motivation. So it may be, hey, next hot lead is $10. Next contract that comes in today, an extra $10. Hey, if anybody finds us a DFW league, $20. Something like that daily to motivate the gang. And that is what's going to keep them happy and in-house, y'all. So that is for VAs. Now for sales reps, I broke it down to $12.50 to $16 an hour, but really we pay weekly. Right? We pay weekly $500 to $625 a week, depending on skill. And that is a flat rate for 40 hours a week. So we pay about $2,000 to $2,500 a month base salary for our sales reps. Now, the reason we have such a small but kind of in between base salary is because we want it to be just enough for them to eat, but we don't want them to get comfortable, right? We don't want them to be living off of that base pay. We want them to make their bread and butter from the commission. So that is where they need to be putting all their efforts into getting closings, not to just say, hey, I'm gonna sit back and relax because I'm happy with this $2,500 I'm making a month. Those aren't the people you want. So we give them bonuses for contracts, of course, as well. We give out $50 for every contract. So if you get 10 contracts a month like you should, that's an extra $500 to the good just for you hitting your KPI and doing your job, right? Then, of course, we commission out for closing. The industry standard is between 10 and 15% commission for sales reps. So if you got a $15,000 average on closings, your sales reps should be bringing in $1,500 each closing, and they should be closing 3 to 5 deals. So if they're closing 3 deals, that's $4,500 just on commission, plus they're getting $2,000 to $2,500. So they're making anywhere between $6,000 and $7,000 a month as a sales rep once they get that pipeline rolling and once they get cranking. And that's what you want them to be making. You want them to be making anywhere between $6,000 to $10,000 a month, and that's how you know your company's doing well and succeeding, as well as they're succeeding and they're doing well, and they're not going to want to leave, y'all. And then you can give them some KPI bonuses for doing their hitting their dials week or monthly. So we'll average out how many dials they should have a month. If they hit the dials per month, the talk time per month, we'll maybe even give them a little extra bonus for hitting those KPIs. Because we know that if they hit these KPIs, nothing comes from it but contracts, and contracts end up turning into closings, y'all. So screenshot this if y'all want, but this is pay structure. These are industry standard pay structures for VAs and sales reps, y'all. So if I'm not mistaken, still good to know, man. Yeah. So if y'all, I believe this is the last slide. So I hope this was helpful. I'm gonna go into what next week is. Daniela actually kind of gave me something. I want y'all opinion, y'all. Daniela said, I kind of posted and said something about maybe I would do one of these weeks a full 20-step slide or course or webinar on what the wholesale process all really entails. So would y'all rather have the wholesale process from A to Z, steps 1 through 20 next week, or would y'all rather have next week be the softwares that y'all can use in y'all business? Y'all let me know. Please, can y'all put it in the comments? That's what I would love to know. I would love to have some feedback. Please, y'all. There's no wrong answer. All right, we got misconstruing 120. Steps 1 through 20 sounds amazing. Okay. All right. Well, Dom, I'm sorry, man. You got outvoted right now. We need everybody else to vote. Software, Jesus said. Oh, man. All right. Well, we're at what, 2 to 3. I might have to throw a poll. You know what? Maybe I'll throw a poll in the chat after, and y'all can all vote in there. And we can really have a good, true vote. I'm okay with either 1 through 20. All right. And if anything, Dom and Jesus, what y'all can do is, and Janae, y'all can get on with me and I can go over it early with y'all if y'all get outvoted. If not, we'll see. But I'll throw it in there. But it looks like steps 1 through 20 are winning. Both. Well, what I'll do is I'll do softwares the week after. So if I don't get to it, I'll get to it after. So, all right, that's cool to know, y'all. It looks like steps 1 through 21. And then next week, and then the week after that, we'll just do softwares. We'll do what SMS softwares, what calling softwares, what what your sales rep need to be using, your CRMs you'll be using, all that jazz. We'll go over that. Okay, cool. All right, y'all. Well, that was quick class. Like I said, I wasn't gonna hold y'all long. Hope this was helpful. Do y'all have any questions at all for me that y'all want to throw up in here? Let me exit out of here and stop sharing the screen now. Y'all have any questions for me, y'all? No, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Hey, Dylan, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, Don. What's up?
Hey, so are there any kind of through the process of doing what you do, are there any once you get the VA on board, are there any kind of red flags that certain like that you may not see initially that
Oh,
like need to be fixed or need to be fired type of deal? How would you deal with that?
oh man, that's a great question. And I'm sure Kenny can attest to this. I'm about to tell you one of the ones that I love, and this is what lets me know that I'm going to end up firing you in about a week or two, is when they ask for an advance. If they ask for an advance on their paycheck, Dom, I have a
That's
10
it.
out of 10. I have a 100% success rate of firing them a week or two later. So an advance is one. And then the other is I don't like for them to have not been working for a while, because why haven't you been working, right? So maybe they might have some excuse on why they haven't worked for a while, but I don't like for them to not have worked for a while, because the best talent, as I told you guys, is already going to be working. So that lets me know something. Maybe they're lazy. Maybe they're just looking for a job for a week or two, and then so they got a couple $100 and they're going to quit. As well as I look at how enthusiastic they are to start. If they're a little too enthusiastic to start, that's usually another red flag. We've had a guy, Kenny and I had a guy that smoked a cigarette during the meeting. Kenny, am I lying?
Yeah. No, he's not lying. That happened. And
That's
he
crazy.
I think he got fired the next week. So it's pretty much within 7 to 10 days. I want to say within 7 to 10 days, whoever you bring on in whatever position, you'll know how long that's going to work out.
Exactly.
Definitely appreciate that.
No,
Especially
man.
that last bit.
Yeah, man. You will know after 7 days, because it's always going to be all the excuses in the book are going to come out. They're going to start coming to work late. Why didn't you hit your dials today? Oh, well, my internet was in and out, or I had a little cold. I had a toothache, whatever it may be, man. They're going to say little stuff like that. And you just instantly, man, need to cut it, nip it in the bud, man. Don't even let it go on. As soon as they give you one reason. And when we first started out, we had a bad problem of letting it continue until it became a huge problem. Cut it immediately when you see it, man.
Copy that. Appreciate it.
If I can tell y'all anything, cut it immediately. And I wish we would have done that in a lot of our positions early on, but you live and you learn, and our failures are y'all lessons. Great question, man. Any other questions? I lost connection with everybody. How do you pay your VAs? That's a great question right there, Imani Egan. How do you pay your VAs? And is it different from how you pay your sales reps? Do you 1099 them? It's a loaded question. Can you just Zelle them? Great question. So first, let's answer the first part. How do you pay your VAs? We pay our VAs weekly and we pay them hourly. And the way that we pay them is we use what has been the most efficient payment method and it has the least amount of fees, and it's called TransferWise. And I'm gonna drop it in the chat because y'all need to know this. If they're in the Philippines, if they're anywhere out of the country, TransferWise more than likely works, and you guys can pay them with that, and it links directly to your bank. You can use a credit card, you can use Apple Pay, you can use your bank account, whatever it is, but their fees are astronomically lower than PayPal and any of the other services out there. So TransferWise is what you'll use. And we don't 1099 them because they're not in the United States, unfortunately, but they're just a business expense. So when we do our taxes or anything like that, they are a business expense, but we do not 1099 them. Our sales reps, we 1099 and have them pay their own taxes. And we can either Zelle our sales reps, or we can set up a payroll system, whatever they like. We can even issue them a check every week. Because if you have an LLC, you can go to the bank and it's pretty cheap. It's like $1 a sheet, and you can get 6 checks. And if you want to just issue them a check every week, whatever it may be, they can do mobile deposit, whatever you guys see fit and whatever you agree on. You can even start up ADP, or there's another software. I think it's called, I can't remember. Kenny and I explored it when we were early on. But so no, you can do a payroll system if you like, but we don't suggest having a payroll system until you've got a good amount of clients because it's costly. That was a great question. Great question, Imani. I hope that answered it. Any other questions? That was a really good one.
I have a question.
What's up, Kenny?
If it's only me working in the company, how do I make somebody feel comfortable, like say came into a sales role comfortable?
Say that again. It cut out a little bit at the end. Say that again.
I said, so if I'm the only one working at the company now and I'm bringing somebody in, how do I make them feel comfortable to come on and join me in my little tiny company?
Man, that's a great question. On the VA side, I feel like the way that you can make them feel comfortable is you let them first and foremost know that I guess that you have the funds to be able to keep them on board for at least, let's just say you have at least a 3 months cushion of funds. I would say first and foremost, I want to make sure they know that, hey, I got the funds to pay you, because that's what their first red flag I think would be is, can this person pay you? Next, I would say is I would let them know that the benefit of coming on early and when it's just me is that you have all the room to grow within this company and promote, and we're going to promote from within. So since you're the first person, like Heather, y'all, Heather was the first person to come on to Kenny and I's team, and she had to trust us in that she left a big company that had 50 to 100 employees and came on to a company that had just Kenny and I. And what we let her know was whenever any position opened up, we were going to give you first dibs on it, and we're going to promote from within, and we're going to give you structured pay increases as well. So we let her know that, and that let her feel a lot more comfortable, that we let her know, hey, since you're taking that risk and that gamble, it's going to pay off in the long run. And you're trusting us, so we have to make sure that we can do everything in our power to make sure that we can keep this thing afloat, and we can not only keep it afloat, but grow this company hand over fist and 3 times, 5 times in this year. So that's what I say as well, as promote from within, letting them know that. And then, man, last I say is just really letting them know who you are, letting them know how you're going to be in the company every day. This is what you do every day. We quit our jobs. We had nothing else to do but go hard at Rego. So it wasn't just her working 8 hours a day and Kenny and I are out doing our sales job, and then we're only coming off for 2 hours and calling on all her leads. She knew that when she clocked in the morning, we were already in there making calls. We were already in there doing due diligence. So we set that standard, and we were working just as hard, if not harder than her. So I think that is kind of how you can let them know that and kind of give them that confidence when they're coming on early. Did that make sense, Kenny? Did that answer your question?
That definitely did. I'm pretty sure I'm ready to call somebody right now. I know we're going to probably have to bring on a couple people, but now I'm really ramped up.
Yeah, man, my man. I appreciate it. Yeah, great question. That's a great question. I'm sure a lot of y'all are probably going to deal with that, because a lot of y'all are working a job maybe and just starting to hire. I know Jonathan's just starting to hire somebody, and it's just him and another person, and they got the one VA. So he has to let them know that this is why you should stay with us, and this is why you should trust us. You know, are those 3 things. We got the funds, we're going to promote from within, give you all the opportunity, and that we're going to go as hard at this with you as you are.
Yeah, congratulations to Jonathan. That's a big thing, man. That's a really big step. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, congrats. I think John and Ronnie, if Ronnie's in here, they teamed up from the group, man, and they got they're starting an operation. They started an LLC, and they just got a cold caller, and they got a list, man. So they're making all the positive moves. So I love to see it. Congrats to them.
Thanks, appreciate it, you guys.
Yeah, thank you. No problem, y'all. So, man, those are great questions, man. Great questions, y'all. Y'all got anything else for me? Yeah, I'd love to see it too. Love to see it. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll throw a poll, y'all, in the chat. But it looks like the 1 through 21 for next week, and then after that, we'll do software. So if y'all don't have any more questions for me, I'll give y'all like 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, no more questions. Cool. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. I appreciate y'all time. Thanks, y'all. Thank you again. I hope this was helpful. Before y'all leave, can I get some hands raised if this was helpful? Please. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. And y'all, this will be on YouTube. If y'all haven't already subscribed to my YouTube, all past videos are on YouTube. So once y'all get this hiring, once y'all get this scaling, rewatch this video and find some gems that you guys might not want to use right now. So thanks again for y'all time. God bless y'all. Y'all have a great Thursday night and have a great Labor Day weekend. All right, y'all. Peace. Thank you, y'all. All right, I gotta stop recording this thing. Kind of forgot how to. There we go.